in the spring of 2024. Against the backdrop of shifting sands and the echo of ancient legends, a team of archaeologists working near the ancient site of Saqqara stumbled upon an enigma that would leave the scientific world on edge. The discovery initially announced to the world as yet another tomb unearthed among many would soon send ripples across the global research community. Beneath the limestone ridges of Egypt, something had been waiting, concealed for thousands of years. It began as a typical excavation. The site, just a few miles from the Step Pyramid, had yielded mostly pottery shards and broken statuettes. Then, as a graduate researcher cleared away dust from an oddly smooth slab, their brush struck a metallic clang. The slab was a seamless alloy, unlike anything previously catalogued in ancient Egyptian metallurgy. Excitement gave way to confusion. Egyptologists could find no record of such materials being present in dynastic times. With mounting curiosity, the team called in metallurgists and engineers. The slab, when carefully lifted, revealed a narrow shaft leading downwards perfectly straight for nearly 25 meters, its sides polished to a mirror-like finish. The descent took the better part of a day. At the bottom, they entered a sealed chamber that confounded all expectations. The walls and floor, composed of the same alien metal, reflected their torchlights with an eerie, distorted clarity. At the center of the chamber stood a sarcophagus, entirely untouched, sealed with an unbroken band of the strange alloy. Hieroglyphics surrounded it, yet their form was subtly different from standard Egyptian curved, elongated, sometimes fractal, repeating into dizzying patterns. Even the most senior epigraphists admitted defeat. This writing was unlike any catalogued language in the region. Inside the tomb, air tests revealed something even more alarming: an atmosphere composition that included unknown trace gases, with a faint chemical signature that suggested some element unfamiliar to modern chemistry. The scientists, now joined by a government oversight team, wore full protective suits as they prepared to open the sarcophagus. Cameras rolled as they broke the seal. Inside lay a figure. At first glance, it appeared mummified in a style similar to Egypt's great pharaohs. But the body was sheathed in a polymer-like wrapping that had not degraded, the material entirely foreign to modern analysis. Under specialized imaging, the wrapping showed signs of nanoscale structuring, a technology incomprehensible not just for the ancient Egyptians, but for current material science. DNA testing was fast-tracked, and results were nearly immediate. The genome revealed human markers, but dozens of sequences found in no known population, ancient or modern, were present. These genetic signatures carried unknown proteins and viral resistances. Theories abounded. Was this a royal from a lost, unrecorded civilization? An early experiment of genetic manipulation? Or something even stranger? The most unsettling moment came when an intern, tasked with cataloging the burial goods, noticed a set of objects placed near the head of the mummy. Cylindrical devices, seemingly made from fused obsidian and metal, humming at an ultra-low frequency. One began to vibrate as they approached. Sensors registered electrical fields, pulsing from the objects, following mathematical ratios found in photosynthesis and quantum computing. As the objects were moved, the air temperature dropped precipitously. Lamps flickered, equipment failed. None dared touch the cylinders again. Within days, the site was cordoned off by state police. International scholars protested, but access was now strictly limited. Reports, unverified, but persistent, spoke of several researchers falling ill with rapidly advancing neurological symptoms after direct contact with the tomb's interior. Equipment from several scientific delegations malfunctioned or, in 2 cases, corroded unexpectedly, as if exposed to decades of weathering overnight. Word of the discovery and its aftershocks spread through academic and conspiracy communities alike. Was this the tomb of a lost civilization whose science surpassed our own? Evidence of ancient extraterrestrial contact, as fringe theorists suggested, or an unintentional Pandora's box opened by curious minds? Official updates became sparse, and the expedition leaders issued careful statements. They emphasized the need for containment and further study. But their faces spoke of sleepless nights and troubling uncertainties. In their private communications, leaked only in fragments, they described being unsettled, not just by what they had found, but by the sense of watching eyes of a presence lingering in the chamber, waiting to be recognized, months after the initial find. Nearly all research had shifted behind closed doors. The metal alloy and polymer wrappings continued to defy analysis. The coded hieroglyphics remained undeciphered, and the humming cylinders, sealed now in lead-lined cases, seemed almost to pulse in anticipation. The implications were enormous. Their existence could rewrite humanity's understanding of both its past and its future. The sands of Egypt had given up a new secret. But this time, even the world's most brilliant minds weren't sure they wanted the answers. As the sun rises and falls across the ancient ruins, one truth stands clear for the first time in living memory. It is not just the past that seems buried in Egypt's sands, but a warning echoing through ages that we may not be ready to uncover what lies beneath.